This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about Nancy Sullivan. She's going to join the NWA as Robin Green. She's going to show up as a big fan of Rick Steiner. She's wearing a Steiner t-shirt and some big glasses. She's going to sit in the audience and interact with Rick whenever he appears. This is a nice way to introduce a new talent. And eventually they have a date. When Rick opens the door, Nancy's there in her dress with the look that she'd become known for as Woman. And then we see a shot of you and Rick Steiner standing there all wide-eyed looking at her.
Yep.
Pretty cool little introduction. What do you remember about Nancy and her Rick Steiner storyline?
Nancy was great to work with. Always bubbly and happy. A lot of talent. But she had been in the shadows as this, valet, manager type person for so long. She was always in a supporting role. And of course, Sullivan was involved in the booking and the creative, and Sullivan and Nancy were together at that time. So that I could see that happening, but she did a good job for us. And I love working with her. She just was wonderful. I'll never forget my most memorable meal at WrestleMania, any WrestleMania, was the WrestleMania, I guess it was 18 in Toronto. Jan and I had dinner with Nancy and Chris Benoit. And Jan and Nancy really got along well. They talked girl stuff, women stuff. They talked fashion, food, and hair, and things like that. And I remember, for some reason, I don't know, I'm sure there's a backstory, and we can figure it out someday, but Scott Hall was at the restaurant eating at the bar. Shock. And man, I thought there was going to be trouble on Main Street in Dodge City. And I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. I was in charge of talent relations. Vince, were you there when they got in a fight? Yep. What'd you do? I ran like a scalded dog, Vince. But they never got into any issues. They just shot, the daggers are going back and forth. But it just, I saw the other side of Chris Benoit there. He had a hair trigger temper, and we finally got him calmed down, and thanks to Nancy soothing, Jan soothing, and we finished our meal without incident. But that was one of my more memorable. The other one was when I bought dinner for Piper and somebody else. I'll think of it later, which won't count because we'll be off the air. And I called, and it was going to be a nice little tab, good steakhouse. And I text Vince. I said, may I expense a meal with Shan and I and Piper and then whomever the other person was? They were eating by themselves. So I invited them to join us at our table. I can't remember what WrestleMania was, but nonetheless, he said, absolutely, anything they want. So I got through the deal and text, and I said, fellas, it's our lucky night. The old man's picking up the tab for everything. And then, of course, you get the old deal. Well, that payoff in, Sheboygan was a little short that time. He's just trying to make up for it.
Yeah.
I said, look at it like he's buying us dinner and drinks. Okay. That's all. Let's just have fun. But you got to go back to the history. Yeah. Well, I remember I have my push. I didn't get my goddamn push. I deserved it, but I didn't get it. Okay. What do you want? Steak or seafood? Or what are we having here? What kind of cocktail you want? So that was another issue. So I got a lot of those stories that someday I may write. That maybe in my newest book, if that gets around to being written. I'm thinking of things like that right now. Just things that are short stories that the audience can succinctly invest in and relate to.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.